Hello students, in previous lecture we completed electrical properties of solids in case of conductors, insulators as well as in semiconductors. Today we have to study magnetic properties of solids. Magnetic properties of solids can be well understood easily in terms of classical picture of electron. In 11th standard, we studied that electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular path, as well as the electrons are revolving around their own axis, like Earth. Earth is revolving around the sun. At the same time, Earth is also revolves itself. Similarly, electrons are revolving around the nucleus and they are also revolved to their own axis. Revolving means spinning. The electrons spin about their own axis. The spinning of electrons act like tiny magnets because their spinning action generates induced magnetic field. On the basis of magnetic properties, solids are classified into three main classes: diamagnetic, paramagnetic and ferromagnetic. We studied one by one. First, we study about diamagnetic solids. In this case, all electrons are paired. Therefore, their spin will be cancelled with each other. Pairing of electrons balances the spins. Hence, they cancel their magnetic moments and therefore resulting magnetic moment is equal to 0. Definition: the substances which contain all paired electrons and are weakly repelled by magnetic fields are called diamagnetic substances. For example, N2, F2, NaCl, H2O, benzene, etc. Secondly, we discuss about paramagnetic solids. Definition is: the substances which contain unpaired electrons and are weakly attracted by magnetic field are called paramagnetic substances. As these substances contain unpaired electron and they show some permanent magnetic moment. In absence of external magnetic field, magnetic moments are randomly arranged and their net magnetic moment is 0. But when external magnetic field is applied, then they are tries to align with external magnetic field. At the same time, thermal energy opposes to this alignment and therefore some of the alignments are takes place in direction of external magnetic field. They show magnetism only in the presence of magnetic field. If external magnetic field is removed, then they loses magnetism. For example, oxygen, Cu2+, Fe3+, Cr3+ are some examples of paramagnetic substances. Next to this, we study about ferromagnetism. Definition is: the substances containing large number of unpaired electrons and which are attracted strongly by magnetic field are called ferromagnetic substances. For example, Fe, Co, Ni are ferromagnetic substances. In iron means Fe, it consists of 4 unpaired electrons. One unpaired electron interact with other neighboring electron strongly and align them in same direction. This group of electron is called domain. Thus, iron contains 4 domain. In absence of external magnetic field, These domains are randomly arranged, thereby their magnetic moment is cancelled with each other and resultant magnetic moment becomes zero. While in presence of external magnetic field, these domains try to align with direction of external magnetic field. Therefore, they show some strong magnetic moment. And these substances are strongly attracted by magnetic field. In presence of external magnetic field, domains are aligned with the direction of magnetic field and thereby their magnetic moment is not equal to zero. These ferromagnetic substances are permanently magnetized. They show magnetism even after the removal of external magnetic field. For example, iron, cobalt, nickel, gadolinium, CrO2, etc. are ferromagnetic substances. Now, we study some numericals here. First numerical is a compound made of elements a compound made of elements C and D crystallizes in FCC structure. Atoms of C are present at the corners of the cube. Atoms of D are at the centers of the cube. Then what is the formula of the compound? Now, when we have to solve such type of example, first take the given data. From the given data, compound crystallizes in FCC structure and C atoms are present at the 8 corners of the cube. Therefore, it contributes to 8 multiplied by 1 upon 8, that is equal to only 1 atom. While D atoms are present at the centers of 6 faces of unit cell and therefore it contributes to 6 multiplied by 1/2 because each face contributes to half of the atom and therefore is equal to 3 atoms. Thus, there are 1 C atom and 3 D atoms. Hence, the formula of the compound is CD3. Next numerical is a compound is formed by 2 elements A and B. The atoms of element B forms CCP structure. The atoms of A occupy 1/3 of tetrahedral voids. Then what is the formula of the compound? Now in such cases, from the given data, it is clear that the atoms of element B forms CCP structure. Now the number of tetrahedral voids is equal to 2 multiplied by number of atoms and therefore it is equal to 2B. The atoms A occupy 1/3 of these tetrahedral voids and therefore number of A atoms is equal to 1/3 multiplied by 2 into B, that is equal to 2/3 B, and therefore the ratio of A and B atoms is equal to 2/3 B as to 1 B. That means 2/3 as to 1 and that is equal to 2 as to 3. Therefore, the formula of the compound is equal to A2B3, means it contains 2 atoms of A and 3 atoms of B. Next numerical is a compound forms HCP structure. What is the number of octahedral voids, tetrahedral voids and total voids formed in 0.4 mole of the substance? Now for such cases, first we have to find out number of atoms in 0.4 mole. Now we know that 1 mole of the substance contains Avogadro's number of elements or atoms in it, and therefore 0.4 mole of the substance contains 0.4 multiplied by Avogadro's number, that is Na. Therefore, this is equal to 0.4 multiplied by 6.022 multiplied by 10 raised to 23, and it comes to be 2.4098 multiplied by 10 raised to 23 atoms. First, we have to calculate octahedral voids. Now we know that octahedral voids is equal to the number of atoms present in the compound, and that is equal to n, and that means octahedral voids is equal to 2.4098 multiplied by 10 raised to 23. Next to this, number of tetrahedral voids. We know that number of tetrahedral voids is equal to 2 multiplied by number of atoms, that is 2n, and therefore we have 2 multiplied by 2.4098 into 10 raised to 23, and it comes to be 4.818 into 10 raised to 23. Now we have to calculate total number of voids. Total number of voids is equal to octahedral voids plus tetrahedral voids, and it comes to be 2.409 into 10 raised to 23 plus 4.818 into 10 raised to 23, and this total number of voids comes to be 7.227 into 10 raised to 23. Now thus this chapter ends here. Thank you.